He's back. What's up, baby?
Hi, honey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
For those of you who don't know, that is the voice of the angel that is my wonderful wife. She's back on the podcast. It's funny because I've recently been procuring, I guess that's the best way to put it, these big guests who are going to be coming on the show either later this year or early next year. Like people who I'm not going to share their names because until I've recorded it, it hasn't happened. And you're gonna see this podcast level up. And what's
What of them?
and what's amazing is the episode people like the most are the episodes with you.
That's great.
And we talked about doing our own podcast, but that's not happening anytime soon. But for those of you who've never listened to a podcast with Kimberly and me on it, who were looking for some influential guest, you're gonna get more than you think you're going to get today. And I can say that without having any idea what we're going to talk about.
Yes, we have zero clue what we're going to talk about.
Well, no, that's not true. See, I do have a clue. By the way,
I don't have a clue.
allow me to remember. When you find value from this podcast, be a person who does the right thing. Go hit us with a rating and share it with a friend. Especially, I believe today's is going to be an episode that you're going to want to share with husband-wife duos who are doing things, who are really trying to be great parents, who are trying to have a great household, who work on their relationship. I believe this is going to be one of those podcasts you want to send to them.
I think anybody in like a committed relationship.
She's nicer than me.
Yes, I am.
Sure. Anybody in a committed relationship.
There you go.
All right. So here's the thing. I was trying to tell you before, and then I said, you know what, let's just wait till we're on air and I'll discuss it with you. I believe that there's this stigma these days. No, I don't believe. There's a stigma these days around the idea that a man should go to work and make money and a wife should stay home with the kids and take care of the household. Like, for me to say that is like, what a chauvinist. He doesn't think women can do the thing. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that what makes me happy is knowing that you're happy. You were less happy driving an hour and change to work to deal with parents of kids who made you the problem in their kids' lives, who didn't want to do any work to make themselves better when you were a teacher, and then driving an hour home, and then not being home for our kids who you wanted to walk down the block to school.
Yeah.
And I take a lot of pride in that now you do that. You walk the kids to school. You don't go to work, and it feels good. Pull the mic closer to you when you're talking. Just pull it closer to you.
Like where I had it before and then you moved it?
No, I said don't twist it. When you twist it, it makes it loose. That's much better. Okay. And here's where I want to go with this.
Okay.
Not everybody has to do that. I'm not telling people that they should retire their wives because their wife shouldn't work. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if we went back in time, like 1,000 years, even 200 years, 300 years, whatever, I imagine our innate roles would be that my job is to go out and hunt and bring meat home.
Okay.
My job is to be the person who protects our family from people trying to take what we have. Right? My job would be to make sure our family is safe and our family is fed.
Mm-hmm.
Your job would revolve around making sure that my job has value.
Okay.
That the family is a unit. That I'm able to do my job without having to worry about having to do other jobs when I get home. You follow me?
Yes, I try to do that.
You do a great job of that. And I think that innately, that's what we would have chosen to have done if we were living this life 200, 300 years ago. And we aren't different genetic beings today than we were 200, 300 years ago. So why does that have a stigma about it? Where like for a while you felt uncomfortable telling people, I don't work.
I still feel that way sometimes.
Why?
I had that conversation yesterday. And, you know, I have no idea what I did yesterday, but I know I had that conversation at least twice.
Was it with Nicole?
And when I said it, nope. I don't know what
Take
I did yesterday.
Take a second. You talking with kids about it?
Nope.
Who were you talking to?
What did I do yesterday? I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, when I bought a computer.
Go on.
Facts.
You talked to
Random
the guy at the
things.
Genius Bar about this?
I did. said that I was very fortunate to be home. And I don't know why the circumstance came up of like,
So which computer do you like, sir? This one. I'm very fortunate to be home.
you know what? I think I questioned why there were so many people in the Apple store at like 1:00 in the afternoon. And I was like, what the hell do these people do? And why is this place so packed on a Wednesday at 1 p.m.? And then, I don't know, I think this just like snowballed from there where I probably opened my fat mouth and said something like that. And then
Your fat mouth.
I don't know. Then I was like, oh, she asked, well, what do you do? And I was like, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to stay home right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you should say,
Okay, please enlighten me.
I have sex with the boss.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
I'm definitely not saying that.
You should.
No,
The listeners are going to say you should.
I'm not saying that.
Well, because you do much more than that. You also do that, though.
I'm not.
What do you think?
We're supposed to provide value here, hon.
This is value. You think your parents are going to listen to this and you're going to be
Yes,
embarrassed by that?
stop. Oh, let's just not go
Hold
there.
on, wait,
I know.
First of all, they're definitely going to listen to it. But your father recently told me that.
Can we not go there, please?
Yeah, deal.
Okay. Please. Like, my cheeks are already getting red. Like, can't handle that conversation.
All right. But why is it taboo? Like, why should men not openly say, I want to create an environment where my wife doesn't need to work? And why should wives not say, I don't want to work. Go make more money so I can stay home? Why is there something wrong with that?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to stop you before I go into that conversation. Can we reframe the mindset of whoever, like it works out that you are the person who wants to work and I am the person who wants to stay home. And I happen to be female and you happen to be male. So can we
No.
because can we just reframe that, like, there are some female entrepreneurs that are just badass,
yes,
and maybe want their male counterpart to stay home,
absolutely,
or whomever the person
absolutely.
is. There's that dynamic in that relationship,
absolutely, and
where there is somebody who wants to go out there and kick ass in business, and there's somebody who wants to kick ass at home.
The reason I don't want to take it there is
Okay.
because there isn't taboo in today's society about a woman going out and making something of herself financially.
Do you think, though, there'd be taboo about a man staying home?
I think other men would be like, why don't you go do something with yourself? Because that's how we're wired.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I imagine women don't turn to you and say, like, you don't want to go to work? Does that happen a lot?
I don't think so.
Okay. If I stayed home and you went out and earned the money, you think my friends would be like, you don't want to like do something? Of course they would.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about here. It's that
Okay.
I'm down to, like, we have some friends who are badass.
Yeah.
Alexa Martinez is badass. Adi Cashew is badass. Joelle Cavanero is badass. Annie Miller is badass. Shantae Cofield is badass. Like, that list goes on.
Yeah.
And those women are amazing. Christy Campbell, badass. Like, I don't want to leave anybody out. We can keep going down and down. Like, Jen Wiederstrom, badass. So Gabrielle Lyon, badass. Ladies, if I left you out of my list, I apologize. I just wanted to move on, right? Nobody looks at those women and says, what are you doing? But people would, you have a stigma about being uncomfortable telling people, I stay home, I don't go to work. You wouldn't feel that way if you went to work. If you made millions of dollars, I would not be able to sit at home and do nothing. It wouldn't matter that I didn't need to go make money.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. I just have to wrap my head around that.
Take a deep breath, Studio McGee.
Okay.
We're not friends with her yet.
But I'd love for you to come over anytime if you're listening, you know?
No,
Anybody knows her and just like.
Because what would happen is.
That's true. She probably wouldn't do anything in her house because she'd be like, oh, this is so good.
No, she would.
She did such a good
She
job.
would say, oh, why did you choose this pendant height? And you'd be like, oh, I like them. Are they wrong? No, they're not wrong. And then you would doubt yourself for a day and then think she was an idiot. And you'd be right if she did that. So go back.
Okay.
Like,
all right. Ask me the question then, because I've already forgotten where.
Why is there a stigma about a man saying, I want to go to work and I want to earn enough money that my wife doesn't have to work? And then have a wife who doesn't work. Why is that something that you're uncomfortable talking about out loud? Why was I uncomfortable talking about that out loud for as long as I was?
Why were you uncomfortable? Or why am I uncomfortable saying
We
that?
both were. I was uncomfortable acknowledging that I didn't want you to have to work, and that I felt like it was my responsibility to make enough money that you didn't have to. And then when I did make enough money that you didn't have to work, I felt like I don't need to come out and talk about that. Like it's chauvinistic. It removes Kim's agency and capacity. And none of that's true. It's all bullshit. And so I'm proud. I was talking the other day. You're a high performer. You just don't aim your high performance at business. It's not where you're inspired.
I think for this season of life, like where we are currently at, I really want to be home with our kids. Like they're so fun right now. And growing up,
I'm going to remind you that tonight.
you're going to say I have all three to put to bed?
I'm just going to say, you said they were so much fun.
Really
so
fun.
Go have fun with them.
True, I will.
I love them.
Yes, I love them.
Usually.
And there's something I always really wanted to be able to walk our children to school and be able to pick them up. And that kind of was on like a goal, like, you know, before we had kids or when we bought the house, that it was in the close proximity of the school, that like one day I'd really like to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Really want to be a mom who gets to go in for like the fun things at school. And not to say that a working parent cannot, because you absolutely can. It's just a lot harder to be able to work out your schedule, to be able to do that.
Especially if you're not your own boss.
True. Right. And I wasn't. So I love the freedom that I have that comes with it of staying at home. And I prioritized being home and with our kids more than I started prioritizing the want of having the career. Mm-hmm. And I really did enjoy being in the classroom. There are moments that I should take that back. There are moments that I really enjoy. There's moments that I really miss. And there's some things that I am happy to do without as well. But the need for our family, I think, outweighed how invested I was in our career. And I wanted more. I felt kind of stuck.
What's interesting is you wanted more out of life.
True,
and your job didn't align with it.
Yes, that
and,
would.
And
done a good job saying.
And
that.
what happened after that is you weren't like, what job would align with it? Because what aligned with it was wanting to stay home.
Yeah, for right now. And like that might change later on.
Sure.
Or career paths might change or something might align differently. But just for right now in this moment, this is what made sense for me and my heart and for you and then for, the collective.
All true.
All of us.
All true. We agree. You're happier than you've ever been. I'm happier than I've ever been.
Yeah.
Why is it that the happiness that we both have right now?
I can't be happy with it and I can't share that happiness with others.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel guilty sometimes saying that.
Go on.
Yeah, that I am fortunate enough to be home because I know that people don't have that luxury to do that. And that, I don't know, almost feels like I'm rubbing in somebody's face. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not the case. That's my projection of it all. I don't know. I feel bad saying that for some reason.
Do you feel bad saying that because you believe that somebody else doesn't have the luxury of it? Or do you feel bad saying it, or both, or do you feel bad saying it because you feel like there's judgment projected onto somebody who doesn't want to go to work?
I think both. But like different, they're not like both that are in sync together, but they're both, I think, true statements.
Well, I want to read something to you then. And we'll attack the first one first. And I want your take on it because I made this post yesterday. My phone won't go down to 0 volume. My phone is not cooperating today. But I made this post. And I'm curious your take. I said it's about if you want to be healthy. And one of the slides on the if you want to be healthy is about finances. Uh-huh. And it says, make more money than you think you need. Learn how to use it, how to grow it, how to save it, how to think about it. There will always be someone who doesn't have enough. Avoid becoming poor to make a point. what I'm describing there is I think we did that. Not necessarily went poor, but hid some of our freedom because we felt bad about other people not having it. And I don't think that helps anybody.
No, it doesn't. And I think that if I were to see like our scenario and like look at somebody else and have who has that scenario, and I think it would be very inspiring to be like, wow, that looks great.
Yes.
And it is. I have a hard time wrapping my head around like staying in that, not that staying in that positive state. I guess like being confident enough to own that and just roll with it. I don't know. I feel like both places exist, and I have a hard time shutting down those feelings of, I guess like the guilt part of it is really, that's what I keep kind of coming up
Okay,
with.
so let's stay there because I think that solves both questions. It's the same answer. There's a guilty feeling around it. What do you feel guilty about?
That I have this beautiful freedom and that other people do not.
How do you define guilt?
I don't know.
You said you feel guilty.
I do.
So let's go back and observe the word.
I hate when you make me think.
No, you don't.
Gosh.
No, you don't. I have 3 kids to prove it.
Oh.
For those of you, while Kim thinks about this, not only does she love it when I make her think, but once Kim told me that we had to break up because we were going to be dating long distance if we didn't, and she didn't want to date long distance. And I said to her, so you want to break up now because you think in the future we might need to break up because dating long distance won't work. Am I understanding that correctly? Yeah. You said yes. And then I said, well, then we're not breaking up because that's ridiculous. If we feel like we need to break up in the future, we'll just do it. We're not going to break up preemptively for the possibility that in the future we might need to do it. And now here we are, 3 kids out.
You know what, this story is great because once again, you just kind of use your words really well and you just like run with them.
You do too.
No. And you run with them and then I'm left like dumbfounded and I have no words to come back at you. And then I just said, okay. And then we stayed together and now we're married. Which is great. It definitely worked out. And I'm very happy that you didn't let me break up with you. But in that moment, that was my plan. It's just I had no words to come back at you. And so we're together.
So you think if I didn't say that night, we would have ended up breaking up?
Yes, I do. Really do.
Wow. People, let that be let it be known. Let it be known. If you have something to say, if something doesn't sound right, fucking say it. Because, dude, the amount of...
It worked out, though.
Yeah, because I said something.
I know.
Please get closer to the microphone.
I am close.
I mean, listen.
I'm close.
Okay. Say something, because otherwise you might miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime when someone says something as ridiculous as we might need to break up one day. So let's just do it now. And you don't end up with 3 kids and a great marriage because you were like, all right. No, speak up. So now you've had a chance to think about it. What does guilty mean?
No. I actually have not had a chance to think
about it. Well, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them.
I know. That was me. I've been in that conversation.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
Okay, so then what do you actually feel?
Would you like to tell me what my guilt means? Because I don't know the words. Would you like to give me my answer?
No. What I'm saying is if you don't know how to describe the word guilty, you don't then feel guilty. Describe how you feel without using the word guilty. Just describe the feeling.
Oh gosh. And I don't even like saying this. It almost comes off as feeling for me like I am better than that other person.
And you're not that person, so you feel bad about saying that.
Yes, or I have it too easy, or I have it good, and maybe that they don't have it good. And maybe they do have it good. I don't know. It's just that feeling that I have.
Got it. I don't think that's unique at all. I think a lot of people would share that with you. I shared it.
Yeah.
I shared it. Listen, you don't know me to hold back because at home, I'm always me. A podcast that will have come out previous to this one is me coming on here by myself talking about how I decided I'm just going to show up as me.
Yeah.
And that I've done the work over the last 6 years so that the me who comes out is the right version. It's who I want to be coming forward. Where in the past, I had these great intentions and my words didn't always align with my intentions. It wasn't received that way. Now, what I came to realize the other day is I don't need to think as much because I've practiced so much being intentional with my language and learning the language of empathy that I can just show up and be me, because now if people don't accept me for who I am, they don't accept me for the work I've done. And I'm not interested in their acceptance.
Okay.
So it took thinking through all of that to be like, I can come out and talk about this. I'm a white Jewish kid who grew up on Long Island in the suburbs, who had great parents. I had my own bedroom growing up. I had a pool in the backyard, in ground, the real shit. I went to day camp. I was a good athlete. Everybody who's looking can tell I'm handsome.
Oh, you're so handsome.
That's right. It's reasonable for somebody to believe things come easy to that guy because that's the fucking narrative.
Okay.
But it's not true. It's all just some bullshit made up story that people tell to make themselves feel better when they're not willing to do the work that you've seen me do over the last decade.
You have done a lot of work. I will not take your personal growth away from you. I will push back at you. I do agree with some of the narrative of how you grew up, how I grew up. I do think that there is some sort of higher edge in a way of just what we've been around growing up that pushes us to keep going for more. Mm-hmm. Whereas, but I think for anybody's upbringing and what you're around, you push for more. Mm-hmm. You have had a higher threshold. No,
I understand what you're describing.
Like to keep going. So you are more successful maybe than somebody else. You started out.
Sure. And that's easy for people to, let me just start by saying you're right about some of that. Yeah. The person who grew up in a ghetto, who doesn't know anybody who's ever been successful, who doesn't know who to follow to learn how to be successful, is lacking some of the advantages that I started with.
Right.
100%. Now, let's look at what comes with the advantages. There is a level of guilt, which I would describe as a feeling as though I have something I didn't earn. And there is a level of that where I'm like, I grew up with incredible parents. Yeah. I had unconditional love from the day I was born. They told me, you can do anything you put your mind to. And I was naive enough to believe them until.
But look where it got you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I get that advantage. The other side of that is I didn't take cush jobs that I could have taken.
Yeah.
Because I felt I needed to prove something to myself about what I was capable of. I didn't go take a job working for Uncle Steve on Wall Street in finance in China. I didn't go work in my father's office and take it over from him when he retired. Not because I shouldn't have, because I had too much ego. And I had a passion for something. Yeah. And I didn't want to make my money in someone else's footsteps. I never wanted my last day on the planet to be misunderstood as a result of the work that somebody else had done. I wanted people to know I want to leave a legacy, and they're going to know I was here and I worked for it. And so I don't feel bad about the advantage at all. My responsibility with that advantage is to do more than is expected of me, even with the advantage. You follow me? Mm-hmm. I need to outperform the advantage. The same way I would love for somebody who has less to outperform their circumstances. And I used to feel bad about it. Yeah. about like, what's impressive about me. No, I don't have a tragedy story. I don't have a hard childhood that I overcame. I used to cling to the Hurricane Sandy story because it was like, people understand I hit a low. But you were there with me. That wasn't hard for me.
Yeah. Looking back, I mean, it definitely kicked us back.
In the moment, though. But in the moment.
No, I was very impressed. You were able to just flip a switch and just pivot and go in a completely different direction and just figure it out.
And what makes that impressive for you is that you're like, that's not something that you innately do.
No, definitely not.
That is something that I innately do. I struggle in times are good.
Yeah.
I don't struggle in chaos. You want me in the fight. I struggle when things are good to figure out what am I supposed to do right now?
Yeah.
So all I'm getting at with all of that is you described feeling like when you say, I want to stay home from work, I am staying home from work, I am happy about it, you're projecting onto somebody else that they also would like to stay home from work. And they're not happy that they can't. And so they would be envious or jealous of you for being able to, and you never want to put somebody in that state of mind. Is that?
Yes, that's a fair thing to say. And that's true. I never want to make somebody feel bad.
So do you think that, first of all, I appreciate that and I love that about you. And I hold the belief that we can't make anybody feel anyway. We can do things and then people decide what they want to feel about it.
Yes. That, of course, makes sense. But sometimes things don't make sense in my brain.
Well, that's not true. It's you are uniquely talented at making, at giving people every reason in the world to feel amazing.
Okay.
Struggling to take that compliment?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like, oh gosh.
I don't have tissues in this room.
You don't have tissues in this room.
Use your sleeve.
I am such an empath.
What does that mean?
Just like full of emotions. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I take on other people's emotions. Mm-hmm. Even thinking about people that I have no idea who's listening and who those people are right now. But like, I feel like I'm feeling, I don't know, like whatever sadness I might project onto them. Mm-hmm. And I'm just feeling it right now.
Can I share a thought?
Yes.
Good, because it's my show.
Oh, then there you go.
I used to believe that putting reality in front of somebody who doesn't like their reality was a bad thing.
Let me say that again. Putting their reality
in front of them, forcing them to observe their reality.
Okay.
Was a mean thing to do.
If they're not ready for it, I feel like it could be a mean thing.
But anyone who's ready for it, you wouldn't feel bad about it. You wouldn't feel bad about talking about how happy you are right now in front of someone who's ready for you to be happy.
Yeah, all right.
It's the fear that this person wants to be happy and they're not. And me sharing how happy I am is only going to make them feel worse about them not being happy.
Yeah.
Right? So I think there's so much opportunity in that moment. Because.
Okay, hold on.
Good.
Yes, I agree with you. However, I am not the right person on the other side of that conversation.
Oh, yes, you
are. To emotionally guide them through.
You are.
Whatever highs and lows and valleys that they're about to go through, because I am incapable of handling my own emotional shit right now.
No.
So
I'm not taking that from you.
No. I don't think I could do. I don't want to do that.
Of course you could do that. You do it with our kids every day, all
but they're
day.
like little. They're not my peers. I think
there's even more at stake.
I don't know. I can hold it together with them.
If we brought our friends onto this show, whose names I won't mention, going through the problems that they're going through in their lives, and asked them if Kim is able to help you through your emotions, or if you are right about what you're saying, every one of them says you are off. You are fucking rocker.
Well, thank you, but
no, it's a thank you and
just thank you.
Okay,
just stop there.
And you agree with me?
Do you want me to agree with you? I think you want me to agree with you.
No, I want you to tell me the truth. I don't have a dog in the fight. You think that our friends?
No, I shouldn't say you're probably right. You're probably right.
That's probably right.
That's probably right.
I say that because I want to be clear that this is not a me against you. It doesn't make you wrong. It makes that statement more true. I think it's cool to do something awesome and inspire our friends, our family, people who are watching us to strive for the same thing. And one of the things I've shared on this podcast before that I don't share often enough is that I want to have these conversations with complete strangers.
Yes.
I want people to come forward and say, I listened to this podcast with you and Kimberly. How do I get there with my husband? How do I get there with my wife? How do I get there with myself? I want to have those conversations with people. And I want people to know I'm not going to teach them anything because I don't know them.
Right.
And I don't know all the other variables in their life. And there's no one in the world I know well enough to do that with. Not my sister, not my parents, not my kids, not you.
Yeah.
But I would ask them the questions to help them figure out the answers for themselves. I think you would too.
I'd like to think I would.
You definitely would. You might not talk into the mic every time you do it, but
gosh,
but you would.
Okay. Get comfortable.
So how do we step into what we are now as a couple, as a family unit, and just be proud of it and allow people to be inspired by it if they choose to be? Because that's what I want for us.
I'd like that too. I think it's going to mentally take time to remind ourselves, almost it's, okay, hold on. Let me think. Let me gather my words. I think it's setting an intention to do that, to be present in the moment, to do that. And it's one thing to feel that way. Sometimes you have to maybe write it down on a Post-it note and put it all around your house, or put it somewhere to keep telling yourself that is what your goal is in order for you to finally believe it and embody it.
I love that.
Well, that came from Natalie, by the way.
Okay, please do it.
Okay.
That's not how I operate. And so it's a great example of that works for you.
Yes.
And so I want you to do that.
I also think I have so many things swirling around my brain that I just get lost with that idea, that because it is important to me. It's just there's other things like, I got to pack the kids' lunches that sometimes will make it to the top of the list where I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, you should really be intentional today.
May I share with you something I would like from you?
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
I want to share everything with you. And it becomes more comfortable for me to do that when you're ready to accept it. And the it that I'm talking about is, for example, we're about to go to this event together in Austin.
Yeah.
Take up space. You validate me. People seeing me with a woman like you, with you, behind me is cool. People seeing me with you next to me, talking figuratively, of course, is powerful.
Okay.
I am only what I am today because you believed in me before I was. That's the truth. And so I would like for the world to feel the power that you have to believe in people in a way that helps them believe in themselves.
Okay. Okay. I can do that. I will do that.
What's the pause in your voice?
No, I was just trying to think to last the last event that you and I were at, and I guess how you clearly must have noticed that I like stayed a little bit like behind you rather than next to you.
Socially.
Right, socially. I wanted people to be able to come up to you. Like,
And they
in
should.
a way. Right.
I don't want you to get in front and be like, hold on.
Well, it's not even.
ID
But
card.
no. But if I'm standing next to you and then, if we're just always in a conversation, that might inhibit somebody from coming up to you and wanting to ask you a question or get to know you or whatever that looks like. I want to make sure that we are there for you and for you to talk to people.
I want them to know that you come first and that after you comes them and that they're welcome in our world. Because I think that there's a power to they say something and you have something to say about it. One of the things that we do, I think, really well at Active Life at this point is deliver value beyond what the customer is expecting. So a coach comes to us and they're like, I want to be able to make $100,000 a year coaching people as a fitness professional. She's taking a break to go drink some water. It's okay. I'm still talking. So they come to us for that. And then we help them become a better person. And through them becoming a better person, they make the money. They have the career. They don't get taught how to have the career. They get taught how to be the better person. Cleary, you saw she did that, not me. Don't worry about you built the room. Where are the coasters?
The coasters.
I think we have coasters somewhere. Mm-hmm. She put a cup on the table for those of you just listening. But the point I'm making, you can put it on the table. You don't have to hold the water. Fine, hold the water. The point I'm making about this is you have value to add to the conversation. You're the one who stood next to me and lifted me up. How much are they missing out on by not getting that?
All right. I'll do a better job.
It's not about doing a better job. It's about doing a different job.
I'll do a different job.
I like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, let's think about this for a second. Last year, 2022, one of the intentions that we set was that when I travel, you travel with me.
Yeah.
We'd never done that before for work.
No. Oh, well, I couldn't.
No.
At the time.
No, you could. We just didn't. We chose not to.
Oh, 22. Okay. Yes.
20, 21, 22. We just chose not to.
It just would no. When I was working, it was just really hard to be able to do that.
It was hard, and we chose not to figure out how to overcome the hard.
Right.
It was hard this year too, and we decided to do it anyway.
It's easier because I don't have a job. I have that freedom where I should be able to just, get up and go. However, we have little people at home that need to stay at home. So we can go do these fun things. So just trying to figure out childcare coverage. Mm-hmm. That is the...
Well, it's the money of it.
True, that too.
Like there's a lot there. And what I'm describing is that this year we've just chosen to do it.
Yeah.
And so it feels easier to do because we decided we're going to.
Yes, it does.
And since deciding to do it, life has been better.
Yeah, it's exciting.
We get to do this stuff together.
Yeah.
That's cool. How would you answer somebody at the event that we're about to go to, Silverback Summit, if they said, what do you do?
I'm definitely not going to say I fuck the boss.
You can. It's true. You can say that, and you can say and.
And am I allowed to repeat my answer? I'm very fortunate to stay home with our family right now.
Yeah, but why do you have to add the caveat of I'm very fortunate too? That sounds to me like an excuse me. Like you're apologizing for it.
No, I think I'm expressing gratitude in that statement, I think.
Okay. Does it
That's
feel
where
strong?
it comes off.
I'm asking. I'm
Both.
not projecting.
Both. It's almost like I am asking a little bit of permission to like.
So how would you say it without asking any permission at all?
I don't know. That's why clearly I say that statement.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it without asking permission. The permission is a compromise.
I don't know. I feel like I want to like elevate my status of saying I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Well, then that's not what you say.
Well, then tell me what I should say.
I'll give you things that I think you can try on, and you can tell me how they
Okay.
feel, and you'll come up with your own.
All right, fair.
I take care of the family.
Oh, I'm the CEO of our family.
You are. But there you go, right? Like a simple thing like that. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true.
I sound ridiculous.
You do because you're too far away from the microphone again.
I think because no one says that in the world. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm just,
So then you can
be
say
a part of the 1% who will now
you
also
can,
say that.
You can say that. You can say, I take care of the family. You can say, I take care of the household. You can say, I make sure he can do his job. Say whatever you want.
I think that leaves a lot of confusion as to, okay, so what do you do?
That's fine. Let them ask. So when people,
then I would say,
I make sure our kids are healthy and taken care of and get off to school on time. I make sure the house is clean and that we have everything that we need in it. I make sure that Sean thinks about what he's going to say before he says it and commits to things that he can't actually fulfill on.
So then people are going to be like, so you're a stay-at-home mom.
And then your answer could be,
yes.
Yeah, I'm a really good one. But that's their description. So for example, when people ask me, what do I do?
So wait, hold on, go back. So then what would be like, you described all these action things that I do, and then they sum it up with like, oh, you're this like noun, you're this thing.
Mm-hmm.
What would you replace the thing with, the noun with?
Oh, I would accept the noun because I would accept the noun and add an end. So for example, if people ask me about active life all the time, what is active life? I'm like, we help people and we're the best in the world at it. Is there something you need help with? That's how I'll answer that question. And then they'll say, well, what do you help people with? I say, anything you need. What's going on? Like, I need to make more money. What do you love to do to make money? Spreadsheets, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I know people who need people to do spreadsheets to make money. Would it be helpful if I connected you with them? Sure. Done. Introduction. Okay. Was that helpful? Yes. But how do you get paid is what they'll ask. Well, I get paid when what you need help with is what we are uniquely qualified to do at a level nobody else is even trying to do it at. So if you need support that includes education, exercise, mentorship, there's nobody in the world better for you than us. And then sometimes people will say, what do you mean by education and mentorship? I get exercise, but like what's education and mentorship? And I'll share an example. Like, do you work out? Say, yeah, not as much as I would like to. Why not as much as you would like to? Meaning, why do you think you should work out more? And why don't you work out as much as you think you should? I'm really busy. And the point is, I don't need to go down this line.
Right.
I'm helping them now. And whether they ever become a client or not is something that's less important to me than that I help them. And I can help them think through what's going on. And for those who obviate, I'm the right guy for you, I share with them, I think that we should talk further about you becoming a client of ours. If I made some time, is that something you would like to do? It's rare that somebody says no when I offer that.
All right. I'll take up space, babe.
I appreciate that. I want to add to it.
Okay.
People often say, so it's like really good personal training. I say, yeah, we do that. And that leaves them a bit confused. Like, what do you mean you do that? We keep talking. So is it like life coaching? Yeah, we do that too. I don't understand. Like, right, because you're trying to put it into a category of something that you understand that exists. We created active life because we looked for solutions and couldn't find them. So we decided to become one. And you haven't seen a solution like this before. If you'd like, we can schedule you for a discovery call to see if working together makes sense. the best way for you to understand exactly what we do is for you to go through a qualifying or disqualifying process to determine if we should work together. Like, oh, sure, let's do that. It's not your job to give somebody the answer that they think they want.
Okay. I can get behind that.
I'm looking at your face and I believe you. So we have a few more minutes here before I would like to wrap this up and get to another meeting. You want to tell people anything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those watching, you
Into the microphone.
Those watching, you already saw when I got up, but hold on 1 second. I had a coaster. I'd put that on the coaster.
Well, you don't have a coaster.
But I don't.
You're taking your clothes off for our guests.
I am. Oh, terrible clothing.
It's great clothing. But again,
Hold on.
I'm always for you taking your clothing off. Go ahead. So what's happening for those of you who are just listening is Kim is showing everybody on YouTube her pregnant belly.
My pregnant belly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
We did it. Number 4.
And this is number 4 joining us.
That's it. Number 4 on the way. Pastuch baby number 4. Kim, you want to share your registry link?
So number 4 decided to join us after we gave everything away.
Because we were done.
We were done.
We're done having babies. Our house, we built our house perfectly.
For 3 children.
Yep. Like we're talking down to like having built-ins built.
3 cubbies for shoes. 3 hooks.
3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
3 like
4. We got our own bedroom, but they got their own rooms too, and now they don't.
Now they will not. Yeah, 2 are gonna have to shack up.
Yep, down to the car. Everything we did was for the 3 daughters that we already had. We are about to have our first son.
We are.
Yeah, I found that angle, guys. If you want advice on how to make sure it's
don't
a boy,
ask us because we don't know.
I know.
Oh,
I know
get
what we
out,
did. I know exactly what we did.
Sean. No,
Do you want me to go into graphic detail?
Definitely not. However,
the truth is, I have no idea what we did.
yeah,
No idea.
exactly.
The only thing that comes to mind is maybe because it was like towards the end of your ovulation cycle.
Yes.
Like,
and I've been told that male sperm swim faster.
Well, that's obvious.
That is if everything that we just said out loud aligns to be true.
That men swim faster than women?
Oh, God, stop that nonsense.
That we can't say that either. We can say that. But I get what you're saying. So the thought process there is that maybe because male sperm swim faster than female sperm and the egg was moving around on its way out, that a guy got there first and he's like, yo, wait, hold on, open the door. One more passenger.
There we go.
Then here we go. One more baby on the way.
There we go.
Yeah. So we're having a boy. To our friends who are listening to this who don't know, I think they all do know. We went to the beach on the 4th of July to watch fireworks with our friends and all of their kids.
It was date night.
Yes. And
You're right about that.
I know.
Oh.
And they all made jokes about us not having any kids with us. We got to go home and make another one. And
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So we're having a baby.
We're having a baby. A surprise. We've kept it off of social media for
almost 4 months.
Till now, almost 5 months. We're halfway, babe. This kid's 20 weeks old already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you do really well under chaos, and that's when you thrive. We had that talk though.
People have asked me what talk earlier about the chaos.
About the chaos before we even said before we even found out that we were pregnant and stuff.
Right.
You felt a little stuck in the company and like, oh, what should you do? And I said that you thrive the best when I just throw random curveballs about our family your way, about like being pregnant or something. You just got to figure it out.
Yep.
And then, yeah, like here you go.
Oh
Boom.
yeah, and people are going to see it in 2024. They're going to see the baby, and they're going to see the
explosion of.
It is amazing because if I trace back when I first started to step into the version of me that I am becoming right now,
yeah,
it does coincide with
babies. Yeah. I know. But we're done after this. So I'm just letting the world know, letting you know, letting myself know again, like this is it.
Yeah.
4 is our household and we are good.
In the future, you're going to have to go like buy a house or a car on a credit card to push the pressure on me, I guess.
Get a pet, I can do that.
All right.
I've got my eye on 2 things already, so all good.
That makes me nervous. Let's wrap this thing up and make out before my next meeting.
Okay.
Turn pro. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Active Life Podcast. Please remember, give us a hand, rate it, review it wherever you listen to shows. We are on a mission to humanize the healthcare industry by professionalizing the fitness industry to empower the individual to live a life unlimited by the way that their body looks, feels, or performs. If you are inspired by that mission and want to jump on the wagon, find us anywhere. Active Life Professional on Instagram, Active Life RX on Instagram. Come to me personally at Dr. Sean Pastuch. We want to welcome you onto the train. We want you to be a part of the mission. We want to offer you the opportunity to pursue this right alongside us. We're inspired by your effort, and we hope to help you in your journey. Turn pro.